Look at me. What you perceive creates an illusion of who I am.
You don't know me.
You don't know me.
These arms hold the weight of my ambition. These hands craft efficiency. I build machines that gather light and give energy to my needs. Solar panels that power to make our future green.
You don't know me.
You just see me. My fingers are on the pulse of man's quest. I build robotics to inform what's next. In these innovations lie our success.
You don't know me.
I will belong to no limits. I code, I build, I create, I make.
You don't know me.
You don't know me.
You don't know me.
But you will.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, where we're breaking down all things Empire. All right, don't go anywhere.
Magic touch, but you've been tripping lately.
I love this song.
I love it.
I mean, absolutely love it. Do you hear me? Tiana is just like...
She's killing it.
Yes.
She's killing it.
Anyways, getting out of my Tiana spiel, okay? welcome to Black Hollywood Live. It's your girl, Allie Washington. We're breaking down all things Empire, okay? We asked, we said, listen, we need Empire on Black Hollywood Live. And they listen, all right? So we're here. But it's not just me. I'm joined by these two lovely ladies that are just going to really give me some more life, all right? Introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, I'm Parris Rose, and you can find me on all my social media at Parris Rose.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Foley, and you can find me at KT Did What Now.
Awesome. Well, there are my girls. This is my crew, my girl crew, all right? So we're breaking down all things Empire. Ladies.
Where do we start?
Drum roll. I just don't even know how to even start this show. One, I'm super excited that we're back for another season, season 3. And it's definitely been something.
Start off with a bang.
A lion fell.
I know, man.
Exactly.
What about this dynasty? So tell me, P, what you think?
Man, I'm just gonna say that this beginning was shocking. Like, I'm sorry, but I love Rhonda, but I didn't want her to die.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be Anika.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so we got P's on the cliffhanger coming into it. So, Kate, where you at?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, Rhonda was like the voice of reason, and I hate now that we have to see her ghost in every episode. It's so awkward for everyone. I can't even breathe.
How creepy.
It's so creepy.
It's crazy. So we leave off with season 2. The finale is that both of them it's between Anika and Rhonda that are on this huge scene, you know, with the ledge situation. Who did you think it was going to be, though? I thought it was going to be Anika.
I honestly thought it was going to be Anika. I was thinking finally they get rid of that witch.
Yes.
You know, it's not really, she doesn't deserve to be a mom.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Rhonda.
Oh, you
Really?
knew?
I really
She
did. Why did you think Rhonda?
I thought it was going to be Rhonda because Rhonda is like the good character. You know? She's the good girl. They're not going to get rid of the villain. They love them some villains on that show. You know,
Lord. Somebody's got to share the hate with Lucius, right?
Yes.
All right. So season 1 is called Light and Darkness, which is very befitting, if I say so myself. So here's the deal: Akeem is leaving the altar. It's a rooftop fight between Anika and Rhonda that leads to a tragic fall. And then Lucius treats his streaming service to pursue his musical legacy while clashing with Tariq. Okay, so here's the deal. Tariq is the brother. How random. Because when I saw that, I was like, okay, we already got Mama that's in the building. That came out of
crazy Mama, who's
nowhere.
Always holding knives.
She always has something in her. I feel like she's just so violent.
She is
so violent.
Why?
She's so violent.
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm also trying to figure out why Tariq hates Lucius so much. There has to be a backstory.
But you know what? You remember the flash that they had? I want to say I think it was in episode 1 where they were talking about Tariq dynamic and his relationship, of course, with Lucius, why it was so intertwined. But how he was kind of like this. His mama was the sideline, pretty much. It was just like, you don't ever mess with Lucius, ever.
Right.
And they really wrote Lucius off to be the bad kid. Do you think he started off that way, though, Katie?
Yeah, no, I do.
Really?
I did, I
You think he's been evil since conception?
I do. Because, he was trying to come up as this innocent guy, and he saw, like, his mother go through all this stuff, but he was lying.
Yeah.
That is kind of true. That is true.
So, too?
Well, you know what? When I saw him rapping on the court, I was like, oh, okay, he started out, like, smooth and cute.
Yeah.
But then he beat up her boyfriend. I'm like, maybe Katie has a point. That
I can't with
He
those
probably just had the
flashbacks.
evil in him all the time. This is crazy. All right, so season 1, so we have that crap taking place. It's super crazy. My deal is, do you think that it started off too strong with season 1? You know how like shows can kind of give too much on the first episode. It's almost like you can kind of like predict the rest of the way how it's going to go through. A lot of people that I was talking to, because I live tweet during Empire, because I just love it, right? Guilty pleasure. And so my deal is, a lot of people, I feel like, were saying that it was just given too much in the first episode, which you can easily do as a writer, but you can still do it to where it's like a healthy balance. Do you think it was too much, Katie?
No, I wouldn't say it's too much. I mean, I think that you have to start off with a bang, honestly. I think my only real issues with the show, it's just that there's so many things that are unexplained. And, like, for instance, like, Hakeem leaving the altar, he did not seem upset at all.
You are so right with that.
Did you see how he hopped in the car? But did you remember how he jumped in the car at the beginning of the episode? He was like, Lucius was like, Hakeem. He's like, no, forget these. I'm in my just married little bug, and I got these cans flying. I ain't think about y'all.
Right.
He didn't care.
He did not care. I was actually really surprised, because he's been fighting for her this whole time.
Yes.
So I thought this was really important for him.
Right.
But he's kind of just like, all right, it failed.
Next episode, in the club.
And I got a baby, so I guess I can get it together.
And I'm always drinking and we're cooked out of the studio.
I want to explore that just a little bit. Why do you think, like, Hakeem's, okay, first of all, whose team are y'all on? Because this is important. I'm Team Cookie.
Of course you are.
I'm Team Cookie.
Who is not Team Cookie? Well, I love Cookie, but I love me some Andre. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm Team Andre.
Good choice. Katie, where you
Team
at?
Jamal. I just love him. I just think he's so charming.
Okay, so nobody's Team Hakeem, so we can bash him a little bit.
Yeah, we can bash.
Okay, so tell me why he's fought for this chick this whole time through.
Right.
He done dropped Tiana.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, he's dropped Anika.
Yes.
Then still like focused on Laura. But then was like, forget Laura, I'm going back to Anika.
Right.
Get her pregnant, but don't know it. But I'm going to take Laura to the altar even though I know that you pregnant.
Right.
And then you get in the car like it's nothing. Why do you think like this like character trait is, like, Hakeem's just so up and down to me, you know what I mean? Unstable.
Hakeem is a little bit immature still.
Definitely.
So I feel like
There we go.
he feels like he has a lot to prove. He's trying to not follow in Lucius's footstep. He's trying to be his own, so he's kind of battling himself in a way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even when he proposed to Laura, I'm like, oh, this is not happening.
Yeah.
He's just too young. He's got too much going on in his life. It's not happening. And she's just like this little, flower. I mean, I remember like him like having to put her out in public to like make her sing in front of people, and she was so afraid and timid, and that's not Hakeem.
And even when I remember going back to season 2, of course, because this is important, like how her parents were kind of reacting to Hakeem too, because it was kind of just like, we're about to sign off our baby girl to you.
Right.
You're already a lion, but god damn.
Yeah.
Her parents were good about it. You couldn't tell that they were iffy, but they still tried to support her.
Yeah.
But then that wedding was just a fail.
No,
so.
that was a fail.
God, and then Exhibit comes through,
exactly.
tearing up the spot. Okay,
Nope.
so let's talk about his character. I think that he's an interesting add to the show. A lot of the shows, especially with Empire, they talk about him, dogging him so bad with this that they pull out all the stars all the time, so they do all the star stopping.
Right.
And so Exhibit is a super duper kind of random ad as a star. They went way back with that one, which is okay.
Hit my ride.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, no, he's not pimping on any rides. He's wrecking.
Not none, right? But he's killing some people, trying to, at least, breaking fingers and stuff in the production studio. But anyways, bringing Exhibit on, his character is kind of interesting too. What's your thoughts?
His character, I mean, I think he does an amazing job at being this kind of bully, this bulldog character. there's gonna be many characters that I just love to hate, and he is one of them.
Yeah.
I need him. He gives me that energy.
And a balance.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What you think?
And well, the other thing too is he's more of a simpleton. You know, so many of the bullies on the show are like mentally bullying. You know, Lucius is classic example. You know,
Damn
just
Lucius.
constantly trying to manipulate. But I mean, I like that he's just like this simpleton bully.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he just fucks shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know the thing about it too that I actually really enjoy is that he's the only person that has like the balls to stand up to Lucius.
Yes.
That's very true. That's
And
a
I
good
think
point.
that was a character that was like real deal missing. You know, I don't like Anika. I'm like, you talked about your
Yeah,
person you
right.
love to hate. I don't like Anika.
Right.
Right.
Do I have an amen corner?
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. So we don't like Anika. We are not team
No.
Anika. Okay.
No boo-boo
But the thing
kitty.
about no boo boo kitty, not this time around. But like Anika's character is so weak, but we see her starting to evolve around this time
She has
around.
a voice this
Honey.
Yes, he
season.
does. Oh, the UPS guy.
Hello.
Can we
Yeah.
talk about that?
Hello.
Can we?
I am so happy that happened.
Can you talk about it though? Like the thing about it is that we see Anika being so quiet and like I'm taking it all in, and you talk so much about a simpleton's character,
Yeah.
and she is definitely like that to a T. It was interesting kind of seeing her being more assertive and more just like sexual, like I'm out here and I don't care about Lucius anymore, like I'm
Yes.
doing my own thing. And I even think about the scene where they were we're going in to see our episode 2 now.
Yeah.
So this whole Empire Stream situation that freaking Lucius is obsessed around.
Right. Won't give it
Right.
a rest.
What about when they were counting the screens and like showing the I guess the live stream, of course, how many
Right.
people were subscribing, and the whole like, oh yeah, back from under the table.
Yes.
I was like, what?
I was like, really, Lucius?
But when
Come
Anika did it
on.
though,
I had to give it to her.
I
was
was
like,
so
Anika, I
I was
happy
like,
that
can we get a
happened.
high five moment, please,
Yes.
Anika?
Yes.
You better flip the script.
Yes. No, and I remember I was watching it with my friends, and we were all hoping that was exactly
Oh,
like literally
girl.
the tables were turned.
She
and
gave
we knew
me-
something was going to happen with that UPS guys because they were eyeing each
They
other.
were. I just didn't foresee that though.
Yeah.
I didn't either, but Lucius' mama wasn't feeling it though. I tell
No,
you
she
that.
was not.
I'll tell you that
well,
much.
because Anika looks like the voodoo doll that Lucius's mother used to attack.
You said attack. That's a valid,
Yes.
valid point.
Yes.
Oh Jesus! Well, bouncing into our episode 2. This is the sin that amends, and so the whole overall about this, Jamal partners with Angelo. My new favorite
Yes.
character. All right, to host a summit for these kids in the community, trying to, kind of inspire them to do bigger and better things, going to college and all that great stuff. And then Lucius tries to win over Cookie with
Right.
all of these
Pulling
gifts.
out the stop.
Biz Marquis. He's
Right.
pulling all the stops, and this is what we talk about a lot. I know we were talking before we started airing about these throwbacks.
Yes.
So I don't know how I feel about the flashbacks. I feel like they're like necessary, but I'm not like all the way in love with them. But then a part of me is like, but I need to see that though. I need to see the young Cookie and young Lucius to understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I literally
at you
can't
like,
with the
when is she gonna give it?
with the soft focus and everything. I just think that Lucius and Cookie can kind of go into this in their own way, in their own scenes. I just think it's miscast. I just think the whole thing is bad.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
said that the Cookie doesn't remind you of Cookie.
Cookie does not remind me of the Cookie.
Which I can understand, but she's still a cute girl.
She's a
Being
cute girl.
She's
Yes.
a cute girl, so we
She
can
got
give
the
her
cute,
that.
like old school hairstyle going
like
on.
she's serving it to me. Now I do understand the miscast about Lucius because
Oh,
that's
so
totally
ridiculous.
on. They
Yes.
were just like, "Hey, you're light skinned. Come
Right,
on."
exactly.
has
You have
the light
blue
eyes.
eyes.
You're like
Yeah.
You're like Becky with the good hair. Look at
Yes.
you know. So that was kind of different. But needless to say, we get the flashback joints, and we
Right.
also get to see how the sisters Candace and them kind of link in, and then we
Yeah.
saw her dad too. So I feel like they're like, come on now, Katie. They're okay sometimes for us to understand and link the story.
I just think that it can be established in the story instead of the silly flashbacks.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it's gonna lead to something else. So I'm waiting for it. I'm like, okay, they're telling us this story piece by piece.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe this is gonna be a big
I don't
climax.
know. These flashbacks just kind of remind me of like a Coca-Cola commercial in the 90s.
I am weak at you.
I know what you're talking about.
No, but I do agree. I think that it's going to connect, and I think it's going to be one memory that's going to be just like, Oh my God, that real groundbreaking memory.
I hope so.
But was I the only one that thought that the boyfriend in the flashback was freaking Angelo?
Yes.
Oh yes,
I totally thought that
did.
too.
I totally thought that
yes.
it was Angelo in another life.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, Angelo done brought it back around.
Yes, that's
Tried
right.
to get
Full
Cookie.
circle.
Yes.
And then I'm
But
like,
then I
never
was
mind.
also
it's
like,
not.
I was like, he was so miscast
Yeah,
too.
yeah. But
Does not
I mean,
look like Tay-Diggs.
but it kind of matched though the storyline. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, is this
Yeah.
like back in the day? Does Lucius know that this is
Right.
But
I
then
was-
it wasn't.
Right.
I know, so I was like, wah, wah. I thought it was gonna be kind of a romance going on.
Yeah, but I mean, it is kind of cool that it's like it's showing that Cookie's not trying to make the same mistakes.
Exactly.
now, you
And so
know?
now she can look back at it hindsight, because that's
Yes.
always 2020, and say, listen, so I've had this happen before, and I did this. This was my interaction, and this is how Lucius took it, and I'm not doing that again. I did
Yeah.
that when
For
I
the
was
bad
X
boy.
amount years old. Now I'm doing it the right way. How I
Right.
should have did it the first time, because that's what my daddy wanted me with. You know, so I
Right.
think that that's going to be a cool thing
Yeah.
too. But we also see that Sean is starting to record with Hakeem. He went in the wrong way, breaking people's fingers and
Right.
hands
Casual.
and, you know, tearing people up in the studio. What was your thoughts on that? Because I thought that Lucius was going to come through and real deal make some stuff like, are you serious? You coming in my empire
Right.
trying
Doing
to F
too
stuff up?
much.
Yeah,
So extra.
it is so extra.
Unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Like, right.
But still, it goes back to our point about him being the only person that can stand up to Lucius. So it's just
Right.
like,
Exactly. I like
whatever.
this battle between them because
Yeah.
you've seen these enemies come in and Lucius just crush them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this time, it's a battle. Lucius doesn't know what to do, so
Right.
I kind of like that.
And it's also just like Hakeem constantly trying to step out of Lucius's shadow and try to do his you know, make his own
thing.
path. Yeah.
It's more like a power struggle. I think before we saw the power struggle more through Cookie and
Right.
through Lucius.
Yeah.
And now it's like, dang, Sean's in the works
Right.
now.
Yeah.
And that's only because Taraji, Cookie,
Yeah.
is moving more towards this emotional character
Yes.
that we
Exactly.
haven't seen. And
Yes.
that's what I'm excited. So we're transitioning between 2 and 3 now, where she's picking up this love interest in Angelo. So it started off business. Like,
Yes.
you know, Jamal goes in for, you know, the interview, he's talking. Then Angelo kind of just slips it up on him. Yeah,
Slips
you
in
should
there.
you should come and talk to our kids. you know?
Yes.
And of course you're on national radio. You're not gonna say no.
No.
And so it kind of sets up the scene for things to happen. What do we think about not Lucius, but Angelo and Cookie? I like it.
I like it. I just don't think Cookie's gonna like that good act.
Yeah.
I think she kind of likes the bad boy. That's why she's attracted to Lucius. But I'm interested to see, you know, how they both form to each other's lives. So.
Yeah, I know. I really like it, honestly, and I do think that Cookie kind of respects Angelo because, you know, she tore him down, and he came back, you know, and fought for her, and I just think, yeah, I think it's really good for her. And, you know, I mean, I love Lucius and Cookie. I mean, I love to hate them together. Like, but you know, it's like I just hate the fact that like Lucius never went to go visit her in jail.
Yeah, and I can't get over that. And it's
I can't
almost-
either.
It's like
That.
this dark evil that's been following us
Yes.
since season
Since
1.
Season one.
And it's like, Lucius, goddamn, why couldn't you just go
Right.
see?
It's like an
see
elephant in
her.
the room. How
She
could-
sacrificed so much for him.
Yeah, and their family, and it's kind of just like, dang it, she's still taking the brunt of that even
Yeah.
now. And we're gonna get to it, but Cookie in this emotional character, and so also, so this is pretty much it's setting the scene for Angelo and Taraji Cookie in this episode 2. But it leads off with Andre.
Oh.
I was like, first I had to go back. First I was like, whoa. Then I was like, whoa. Then I was like, whoa. It was just too much. And I'm sitting up in my living room like, no.
Yeah.
Hands up, don't shoot, no. What did you think about that? Was that not like cliffhanger, like times 20?
Times 1,000.
It was too much.
I needed to know what happened next.
Yeah.
I needed to know. I like that they kind of tied it to what's really going on in the world. I'm
Right.
like, okay, I
Yeah.
see what they're doing here.
Yeah.
Right.
I was shocked that it was Andre too because he's the most composed.
Yes.
And he always has it together. What you
Yeah.
think? And you're Team Andre anyway, so I can't even talk to you. Kate, what you thought?
I mean, I just thought that I was like, of course they're doing this.
Yeah.
Of course they're doing. Like, I was surprised that this topical nature, you know, hasn't been addressed sooner. better in Empire, to be honest.
Yeah, but the thing about it, one thing I will say about Empire, I do agree with that statement, but one thing I will say about Empire is that their writers, can we clap it up for them just real fast, just a soft little golf clap. Their writers are really amazing.
Right.
And
I
the fact that they are so like present time, a lot of the times you see like series like these that may not address issues at all. You get what I'm saying? It's more like the likelihood of this. This character is this, so you expect X, Y, and Z to happen. So predictable.
I mean,
shade.
Yes.
Since my team.
Okay.
But I will say that their writers with Empire are very present day, and I feel like they attack real deal issues that are so timely.
We'll let
for
the
now.
ALS stuff slide, but other than that, I agree with you. ALS doesn't just end, but other than that, I do agree with
This is
you.
true. And I wonder, too, just a sidebar, did Lucius really have ALS, guys?
I really wonder.
I don't think so. It doesn't just go away. I mean, and then he's like reminiscing about it this season. He's like, remember when I had ALS and I was
Making it a
dying?
joke, yeah. I'm like, this is a serious thing, Lucius.
This is very true. So that's kind of weird. I didn't know how that was going to pan out. So, of course, I'm like on the edge of my seat waiting for next week. So Andre basically, like, the police set the situation up, really did. Like, black man get against the world.
You see the neighbors all looking all sketchy at him.
Right.
And I'm like, he is moving boxes.
Hello, he used to be your neighbor. You
like,
know?
wake up.
So I think then, of course, and you can probably speak a little bit more to this, Andre presented some type of struggle in this situation because he's always been the Dudley Do-Right, out the situation. And, of course, he's never encountered all of this. And he partially didn't encounter it, one, because of the type of person that he was kind of raised to be.
Yeah.
Just stand up and the head of, kind of like the second head of the house. He's the oldest brother. And then, of course, him dealing with his illness, and then partnered with a white wife.
Right.
And so he already had to keep up a save face type situation.
Right. Yeah.
How do you think internally, like, his character kind of...
Well, I think it was shocking because of those things. I mean, he's always composed. He's intellectual. He's the CFO for a big company. So I think he didn't expect this type of treatment for him. So I see in his face that he was like, "What? You know me? That I'm like I was your neighbor." So I was surprised. I liked his reaction. I thought it was a very real reaction.
Agreed. And I like the fact that he hasn't tried to get all brass knuckles. He's like, I got in the Walden School. Like I've built myself up to be this person. I don't want to play down and dirty. You know?
Right,
I don't
and make
have
that
to.
very known too.
Yeah.
I thought that it was very brave of his character to go in and speak to when they were all meeting or whatever in the boardroom. And Cookie was like, "We're not doing this. You just another black male. They trying to put in the system, blah blah blah, being herself." And of course, Lucius, he always down. I'm gonna get thirsty. And we haven't seen thirsty at all.
Thirsty, Ben.
I need thirsty. I'm thirsty for thirsty.
Taking
I
some
need
braids
him
right now.
Yeah. And he probably washing his hands clean or something that we don't know about. But he really took the high road and was like, I'm not doing this. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I just feel, and I feel so bad for Dre too. I mean, just with Rhonda and
So much
like,
going on.
and he's already bipolar. It's just like, man, just kick a man when he's down.
Do you think it's maybe too much, that they're adding too much onto
To
Dre's
his character.
It is a lot.
But I feel like he's also been kind of calm, cool, and collected this whole time. So I can get a little Dre now,
Yeah.
Speaking of this, you brought up a very, valid point. Rhonda.
Oh my God, the ghost of Rhonda.
Jesus, the ghost of Rhonda.
The ghost
so
of Rhonda.
when she popped up the first time, I was like, okay, this is like him on his medicine. He's in the, he's living with Jamal now. And so Jamal walks in and is just like, I need to be here for my brother. I'm just going to let him have this bill. He's having a moment.
Right.
But then it's like, Caitlyn is getting these coins because she's still going to be in season 3 is what y'all did.
Exactly.
Yes.
And she going to collect all them coins as a ghost.
Yes, she
I thought we were going to be
is.
saying goodbye to her, so I was like, okay, she's still here.
Yeah, she's still
Yes.
here. Is it creepy or is it not? I feel like a part of Dre's character needs Rhonda, almost like how the angel is, the devil is.
angel, devil.
I need Rhonda because this was like how I was functioning. I need it.
She levels out the bipolar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's creepy. All right, so moving on to 4. This is where we're at. Cupid Kills. Andre is catching feelings for for Nessa. We're
Yes.
still trying to sign it. At this point, we're still trying to sign Nessa, but we did actually sign Nessa.
Shine's not having
But
that.
Shine's really not having
Not having it.
So I don't know exactly how to even cap this all off, because it's a lot to take in.
Well, how are you feeling about Nessa in general?
I like Nessa. I feel like Nessa really saved the day. She stepped up as a character when Jamal had his flashbacks of Frida Gatz, which we're gonna have to dig into at another time, because that's a whole. I didn't even want to put that.
Thing.
That's a whole talk about in itself. So we're gonna save that for next time. But I think that she stepped in when she needed to.
Yeah.
I think she made a huge impact when she did, and I think that her character is gonna be super duper vital, because she's not only saving, she's really still saving Empire.
Yeah.
But I think that she also might play that same kind of character that Jennifer Hudson played for Dre.
Right.
This is a really tough time. He's already, like musically, inclined.
Exactly.
So that's his therapy for his soul.
Yeah.
And he's mourning the loss of his child and his wife. She's gonna be vital.
Yeah.
I think so.
I love the way she stood up to Hakeem.
Yeah.
And she just called him out on like how he treats women.
Yeah.
I loved that.
But Hakeem is also feeling Nessa.
Yes,
I
he is.
know. So, but Hakeem is feeling
He's
any
feeling
new
anyone
girl.
that moves. Yeah.
Any new girl who's signed, he's
Yeah.
feeling her. So
Definitely.
this time he's right with Nessa, though. I think she's cute. I think she has a great voice. So I'm Team Nessa.
But the thing about it is Nessa not feeling Hakeem. Nessa is feeling Dre.
Hakeem is too short. That's why she's not. I mean, she can't look down to him.
I just don't know. So biggest thing that I think is relationships in this. And I think we can dive a little bit. We got about 20 minutes left. I want to dive deeper in these relationships. So we have Cookie. We're going to get back to Nessa, because that's going to close us out. We have Cookie and we have Lucius. Been together, but we also know that the fact that Lucius didn't really hold Cookie down like how he needed to.
Right.
Oh.
And she's starting to feel that a lot more, like this is not happening. And I think internally she struggles with that, because it's like, dang, I was so ride and die for this dude.
Yeah.
They've been
And
through so much.
he hasn't did anything for me but break me off like a little role in this company. Like,
Exactly.
what do you
Exactly.
like?
Petty, like this petty role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel.
And fill up her living room with stuff that she could buy herself.
Girl.
And Bismarcky.
And Bismarcky.
But that was cute.
That was cute.
I did like Biz.
But it's too much.
I did like Biz.
It was too. Do you think Lucius is trying too hard though? I think that he's pulling out all the stops because he knows that he's messed up so bad. I mean, even thinking back to that dinner with Tariq that they invited him to,
yeah.
and
Yes.
the nigga's like, "Oh, our marriage is so real. You're gonna know, and you're gonna feel it. Look at this."
Right.
And Cookie's like, "Bitch, you're playing with me.
I was that Nika impression. Go on with the Nika
Are you
impression.
playing? Are you playing?" So it's Cookie's hurt.
Yes.
Cookie is her, and I feel her. I mean, she's been through so much. She's handled it gracefully, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it still happens. She's still getting like kicked down. So I think she's over it. I feel her character.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we already addressed the fact that he never visited her in prison. And, you know, over the course of the 3 seasons, he's left her for Anika twice.
Right.
And each time it's like a dagger.
It is.
It's like a
Yeah.
dagger. And so we see this budding new relationship, of course, with Angela. So let's talk a little bit about how this kind of is a good thing, but it may also be a bad thing. But it could really still be good.
Could it actually work out?
It could. So
Yeah.
Angelo sends the babies to Empire, of course. And Portia's like, "Oh, yeah, come on, let's go on a haul." And the babies are singing Farrah Jaka. And I'm
How
like,
cute was that, though?
That was
oh
so
my
cute.
God. You know, hold back tears because this is too cute. I know he
Yeah.
did not just do like a little sing-a-gram at my job. You get what I'm saying? I think that touched her. The thing about it is Cookie is seeing a different... I think she met Angelo under one circumstance, but she's starting to see it unfold. And so it's almost like, what is this dude about?
Right.
You know?
And I mean, I think that she likes how Angela sees her because Lucius knows she's a girl from the hood and he treats her
Right.
that way. But, you know, Angela is treating her like this woman that she is kind of like a princess, and that's new. So
Yeah.
I think she's liking being pampered.
Yeah. I do think that she is, I mean, as she told him off, it's like she is kind of apprehensive about just the fact that he hasn't really gone through these struggles, you know? And so I think that she's kind of apprehensive about that. with him, you know?
And I think that kind of course, it scares her a
Yeah.
little bit because it's almost like, I know that I'm this chick from the hood and I know how I am, baby, but you in my world now, so you going to have to take a seat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's go to the opera. First of all, let's start at the dressing room when she finds out that she's going out. So she thinks that it's like this like lounge situation.
Right.
This hot
Got
lounge.
to thank good old Portia because
Yes.
Portia, she just got Lord, you gotta pray for Portia. One, Taronda has really she is so doggone funny to me.
Yes.
And the fact
So
that she's kept
funny.
this role so relevant, like
Yes.
it's just like, girl, you are really holding
She's
down.
killing it.
She's hilarious.
You are holding it down. So she's like, oh yeah, Cookie, you going to, you going to Cooper's? It's nice. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
And
You're
then
good
it's
at
like,
that.
And
You're
then
good
it's like, dang, she's not going there.
Right.
So she's
At all.
getting pampered. She's getting ready. Take me to that moment, Katie. How did you feel when she was getting dressed?
Oh, I mean, I was so excited for her,
Yeah.
you know, because like she is going with her Prince Charming. I mean, she's not, going off with Lucius again. She's going off with this guy who just seems like he's great and he's going to take care of her,
Yeah.
you know?
Can't hate on that. He seems charming.
Yeah.
She's nervous, and it's kind of cute seeing her like not so tough. I like it.
And actually being the woman.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Girl, I'm like, Cookie, come on. Now, you don't let the
Finally.
reins go, honey. So
Finally.
this is going to be it. So she goes through like 30,000 different outfit changes. And she finally finds this hot red dress.
Sure.
Yes.
She ready to hit the town. She got the red lip. What up, Red? Ruby Boo in the building. And she's getting out the car. And she sees all these gowns.
Yes.
And she's like,
do.
WTF. How would you have been?
I would be like, you set me up. You just set me up to fail. Come on.
Right.
Like, yes, she looked amazing, but she could have really rocked some nice gown and killed it.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I mean, you're as a person, it's like you can't really be comfortable unless you're comfortable in what you're wearing.
Right.
You know, even if you are Cookie. Yeah.
Cookies is
Katie, if it was
showstopper.
you, how would you feel?
Oh, I would feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, dang, bro, you just really gonna let me fall and sit
Yes.
like this? Oh my God,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So she's walking in, this chick from the hood, she's looking good in this red, and
Yeah.
she's approached one with this awkward conversation. And it's just like, oh yeah. And then it's like these references to Clarissa.
Right.
Right.
And so, of course, she doesn't know who Clarissa is because they haven't got this deep in the conversation.
Yeah.
Those women, like, literally, like, broke her.
Yeah. What do you think it is? What do you think they were hating for?
I think because a part of me was like, they mad because they not with him.
Yeah.
That could be it.
They hating. Y'all know how girls do. They hating. But then a part of me was like, they know him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, they vacation together. These are like a crew that done hung
Right.
together.
They summer together.
They summer together. Excuse me. They summer together. And but she did come back with that clap back. Oh yeah, I summer in Connecticut. Yes. But I feel like they, just like how Lucius and Cookie have grown up, I feel like those two, they've all grown up in the same circle, so
Yeah.
they know how he rocks, and so it's a little bit different. Like, why is Angela with this ghetto chick?
Right.
Right.
Like, this is so not Clarissa, and I wouldn't expect her to bounce back like this. But it's also like, y'all don't know Cookie though.
Exactly.
Right.
They're so miserable.
It was like teenage girls, like sitting in the
Yeah.
corner gossiping about the new girl.
Yeah. And then she's in the bathroom, which makes it all the more worse. You trying to get your life together real quick and make sure
Right.
you still intact, and these chicks are in the bathroom talking about you. I was like, boy, Cookie. Now, one thing I did get mad, they sent us to commercial break. I thought Cookie was going to go ham on those girls in the
I
bathroom.
did
Yes.
too. She held
I
herself.
was like, please take me back to Connecticut. I need you in a cell, Cookie. I need somebody
Right.
trying to come for your tissue, and you're not going.
Right.
Right.
But she didn't give it to me.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes back to like what she was saying to Lucius, is like she does have feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. I mean, I thought either she was gonna like go for them Cookie style or just like cry and stay in the bathroom stall. I can see that she was emotional, so I wasn't sure. She was out of her element. I thought maybe we'll see a very emotional Cookie, but
Yeah.
she actually was half Cookie.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was half Cookie.
Half
She
Cookie.
still, got him in line or whatever, and I think they got the message. But the biggest thing to me in this episode is that when we really did see the emotional Cookie is when she left. Like,
Right.
she was like, let me slide on up out of here. And I was
Exactly.
like, dang, she didn't even tell Angela she was
Exactly.
leaving.
And I wasn't sure if that was because she was upset with him or because she was just really embarrassed by the whole thing.
There was a mixture of the two.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, if you look at her life, she's probably has not really been in that environment that much, so she wasn't comfortable to really begin with. Yeah.
She was standing up and clapping during the show.
Oh, girl,
my
like
God.
really deal during the opera. You gotta say that, girl. I was like, oh, cookie,
man,
cookie,
that was
cookie.
great.
Boy,
So
you can take a girl out the
Typical
hood,
Cookie.
but you can't take the hood out the
Yes.
girl, man. And so we see that she actually turned this to a plus. So she took the awkward experience, Cookie, she always coming
Yes.
out a fighter, and she flipped it around to her advantage. So we know that Lucius is obsessed with this Empire Stream situation.
Right.
And honestly, it's kind of crazy. Like, I feel him, but it's almost like this is real deal gonna be like this whole
much.
season. It's gonna be
Yes.
too much because you don't have no content. If you don't have no content for Empire Stream, you finna like down sick.
Exactly.
He had me
Yeah.
want to go in my bathroom and record a hot 16. What you thinking about Empire Stream?
We could have more amazing acts coming in to fill that stream.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
If not, then Alicia's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how he's able to hold down a company. He's so ADD with all his choices.
Very
He
true.
like really is passionate about one thing, and then next episode he's passionate about another thing, and he doesn't talk about why he lost passion on the last thing. Like,
Yeah, kind of jumping all over the place.
all over the place.
Who do you think is probably going to get the most play out the Empire Stream situation between Nessa, Hakeem, and Jamal?
Well, Jamal has to. Get
Tiana
through
made some streams go up. So
Yeah.
we'll put those four on the table. So you got Jamal, you got Hakeem, you got Nessa, and you got Tiana. Who you going for?
I think Nessa right now.
Yeah.
I feel like she is the new act, so she's fresh.
Tiana gonna be mad.
I know. I feel bad for Tiana. She always has to compete with the new girl
Yes.
acts. I feel
Yeah.
so bad for her 'cause she's been constantly killing it.
Yes.
And then a new girl comes in and she's pushed to the side. So
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad for Tiana.
All right, so you for Tiana. What you think?
Oh, I'm definitely for Nessa.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Jamal obviously has his whole issues that, it's not allowing him to perform. So I just think she's a safe bet.
I think that Jamal's gonna come back and
think
kill
so?
it.
Oh.
I think with the single that he did with Laura, and we got to touch on this too.
Oh,
Do not let me
yes.
forget this. Mariah Carey, Jesus. We're gonna get on that. But I think that Jamal is gonna come. He's gonna overcome this whole situation, and I think that he's probably gonna get the most.
Well, I hope so.
I hope so,
miss
too.
Jamal.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think out the show, he's probably the most consistent musician out of it
Yeah.
all.
And just the most straight mind, like clear head.
Yes.
Because, Andre's composed, but he's battling bipolar.
Right.
So I feel like Jamal has been the one to keep them all together.
Right.
Yeah.
But now he's not even together. So I hope he comes back.
Oh Lord. Well, I guess we can kind of transition to Katie's side of Teen Jamal. So he's battling this season with
Yes.
PTSD.
Yes.
Which of course, like I said, the writers are super duper conscious.
Right.
And I feel like they bring a lot of attention to things that we really don't, bring to the forefront, the elephant in the room, like you
Right.
referred to.
Yeah.
And so with Andre, it was, the bipolar, situation, mental illness in African Americans. Then you had the ALS that was like on for a second, out the next minute. But this is interesting because a lot of the time you see post-traumatic stress disorder from military,
Right.
involvement. And for us to see it now from an artistic point of view,
Yeah.
I think that it's super dope.
Yeah, it is cool. I do think there is a weird discrepancy, though, that the shooting happened on the red carpet, and yet he's not able to perform on stage.
Yeah.
Why? It's almost like I wish that it happened on stage because it just seems like this weird. Why is this affecting him performing? I could see him going out in public, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
But why is it specifically performing?
I was thinking the flashing lights because he goes back to the carpet and there was
Yeah.
lights and everyone watching him. And so I thought maybe it's just when he sees lights, he gets back
Right.
to that moment. I don't know. That's my interpretation.
Agreed, and I can agree with that too. But let's also bring up the interesting point too. They were also supposed to perform for the
That's
Aces.
true.
That's true.
And so it's a fear of performing because he didn't get that chance, and that was
Right.
the biggest
That was
time
a big-
for
that's a
him.
good-
And when I
that's a good
thought about
point.
it too, I was like, that does not match. What is it? The carpet got to do with
Right.
him on
Yeah.
the stage? I'm not getting it. But he was also supposed to perform at the Aces,
true.
and it was supposed to be a big deal.
Right.
And so for him to step back on that stage, not having that opportunity, it's almost like dang, are the people gonna love me anymore? Are they gonna feel me the same?
Right.
Like, whatever. And then I also just choked this performance on episode 2 where it was just like, dude,
Right.
really? I just let somebody else have my complete shine.
Yeah.
So I think he's kind of conflicted a little bit. But let's talk about this post-traumatic stress disorder situation and his coping with that.
Yeah.
So he has this, I know we're still on our relationship tip. Now tell me what you guys think about this. This is just my observation.
Okay.
So he goes to these meetings. He's getting out his feelings with like-minded people that deal with the same thing. But the leader of the group, I think, is feeling Jamal.
I think so too.
Definitely.
And
Okay, so
that's
I'm not the only
right.
one.
Definitely
this-
some ST.
Yes.
Yes.
How do I don't know how to feel. I feel like this is going to be a good thing for Jamal, but I also feel like this is totally not going to be what I think it's going to be.
Right.
Right.
Because this guy's going to flip.
Yes.
It's throwing me for a loop here. I'm like, are they flirting? Is he flirting? I'm trying to understand right now, right? I'm still confused. Because if he's flirting and this is a thing, I don't know if it's going to end well.
But think about the meeting. So somebody said, oh, that's Jamal lying. And he's like overly apologizing for this person. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This is not what this meeting is about. This is not usually how it goes, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
that's true.
So he's already like in this protective mode. And then he's like overly concerned because in episode 4, he's like, hey, I wouldn't take that with that drink. if I
Oh,
were you.
yeah.
Right.
It's just, I just feel like he's too overly concerned for me. Is it just,
Maybe he's trying to be a good mentor.
girl?
I don't know. I mean, I do
Very
think it's a
good
little
mentor.
extra for being a good mentor. I think he just really likes him.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just trying to be like a nice guy.
Is this going to be good for Jamal, Katie?
I think it's exactly what you said. I think it's going to be a good initially, and then I think this guy's going to flip the script.
I think he's going to have like one of those episodes where he flashes back with whatever his PTSD is.
Oh.
And it's going to like
Definitely.
turn Jamal like, oh my God, what's going on?
Got me interested now.
Come on with that prediction. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Jamal has his little interest. So let's go back to Hakeem and Nessa. Break it down. Hakeem was definitely feeling Nessa first of all, flirted like major when he first went into the studio
Right.
with Shine. But Nessa was like, whatever.
Not feeling
No.
Then he starts progressing and making music. And she's starting to get more involved because, of course, she's now the new Tiana. So
Right.
she's featured on every track now. And I felt like there were some sparks
Between
flying.
Hakeem and
even
Nessa?
when he
Yeah.
stood up to Shine, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
They did have a little something going on. I feel like she was impressed too by him sticking up for her. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And then even going to the Empire Stream thing when the contract and
Right.
stuff. So I'm like, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's like one of those like kind of cliffhanger situations. Like
Yeah.
they just didn't want you to predict that she would have end up with Dre.
But who do you want her with? Are you Team Hakeem or Dre on this one?
I mean, I'm team neither. They both just lost women.
Yes,
You
that's
know?
true. They're
And they
both
need
not
time
ready.
to heal,
Yeah.
They need time to heal. They're getting over this way too quickly.
Oh, gosh.
I can't handle it.
What do you think, Ree? Who are you with?
You know what? I want to see her with Dre. You know, I'm Team Dre. I just think they'll help each other.
Yeah.
So I want to see him move
And
on from
Rhonda will
Rhonda.
help them.
And maybe Rhonda will get out of the picture because I can't stand creepy ghost Rhonda anymore.
And I can't stand creepy ghost Rhonda that has sex with.
Yeah, the threesome
The
ghost.
threesome.
I'm like, is this like a is this okay? Is this like
I knew that was going to happen too because she's come back every single episode and she hadn't come back episode 4.
But I really thought that this was gonna be like a Rhonda in the moment, like I'm watching you.
Right? I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be like
My eyes are
upset.
on you.
Right.
But she was egging it
She
on.
was-
She was
Stroking the back, honey.
helping.
I'm like, is she serious?
Yeah.
Should I be watching this? This
Hello,
is
I
dirty.
feel like this was like not too much for TV.
Yes.
But I was loving it too.
Yeah.
Because
Same
I still
time.
feel like that it created like a comfort for Dre to be like, okay, I'm not wrong in feeling this way because Rhonda wouldn't let me be. She wouldn't let me be wrong.
Yeah, and season 1 they were doing all that swinger stuff, so it kind of makes sense.
Can't forget about the swinger stuff.
Swinger
Yeah, that's that
stuff.
little flashback situation.
Yeah.
I tell you that. So, what do we feel about Rhonda coming back? Do we think that this is going to be something consistent, like all of season 3, or I think that we're going to see her. I think it's going to be a breakdown. I think they're going to. I think if my heart feels right, I think that the writers are going to allow us to explore like Nessa and Dre. Mm-hmm. And then Rhonda's going to come back like.
Yeah.
As the angel and devil.
Right. Like, really?
Well, you know, I hope they get rid of Rhonda. I love her, but now that she's dead, she has to go.
She has to go. Yeah.
But I feel like she most likely will continue to be on the show.
Yeah, but I mean, can we also address the fact that Anika seems like she has no qualms? Like Lucius did kind of lightly bring it up, but Anika's like, she like does not care at all that she's committed this murder. She's way more concerned about the fact that she can't get out of this house.
And she's totally getting off on that. And that's how I was actually going to end this. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Anika definitely, like, episode 1, pushed her.
Right.
Killed her. Oh, I'm in labor. Oh, I had the baby. Oh, I'm at Lucius's house.
Yeah.
Hi, mailman.
Like,
Oh, look at Empire Stream. Head under the table.
right?
And now I'm like,
Things escalated quickly with her.
Yes.
like, I just feel like she's totally getting off in this situation. And I feel like all the attention is being directed off of her. But I'm
Yes.
just like, are we ever going to, is Rhonda going to get she's definitely not getting a funeral at this point.
Right.
I just feel like we let Anika slide. Like, she pushed Rhonda, killed her baby, now
Yeah.
has a new baby and gets to live all happy.
Right.
I don't want her to live happy. Like, we're ever going to find
She's
out?
pushed Rhonda twice.
Yes, yes.
Literally,
know?
twice.
Twice. Yes. She's committed 2 murders.
Child.
She killed the baby before.
Hello.
Yes.
And it's like, I know Lucius made reference to it when, how creepy was it when he was in the delivery room?
Oh my
my
god. Oh my
God.
god.
When he was like, you know.
I actually felt bad for her in that moment.
I did too. I
He
was
is
like,
so
oh,
creepy with that
Jesus.
baby. He acts just like his mother, like with everyone else. He's so creepy.
I'm just like, but he was wrong for signing that birth certificate sidebar.
Yes,
Right?
sidebar,
I'm
yes.
like, you better let Hakeem be a daddy and stop that. But I think that she's going to get dealt with. Now, the way that in which she's going to get dealt with, I don't know, because the feds are like so on Lucius.
Yes,
And then right now, so hard that it's almost like, I'm not even going to try nothing right
Right.
now because I need her to still be around in this picture. And then they're married, of course, now too.
Right.
Which brings us to Bella, the baby. Oh.
Born to a crazy family.
This poor baby.
And she don't even know what she's being born into.
No.
Do you
She's not
think-
ready.
Okay, let's get into some predictions now. Do we think that Hakeem is going to be allowed to be a father? He already is not on the birth certificate.
Right.
And Lucius has made this very clear. When he steps up to try to be a dad, you know, he's not holding her head right. You know,
Right.
give her here. Oh, daddy's baby. So he's not really giving him a fighting chance, Brie.
Yeah.
But Hakeem should have stuck up for himself and been like, well, I'm a new dad. I'm going to try.
Right.
But,
He seems to be more concerned about recording his record.
yeah, so I'm almost like, okay, Lucius is not letting him be the dad, but he's not really trying that
He's
hard.
not fighting that hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has Ness on his mind. He has his music on his mind.
Right.
So maybe
Getting
he's
back
not
at
ready.
Tiana
Yes.
with this random little Romeo boyfriend.
Those little beef.
Yes.
Man, okay, so we got Bella handled with that one. Do we think that Angelo and Cookie are going to be something?
What do you think, Katie?
What's your prediction for episode 5 with them?
I think they are.
Because remember, let me lead you off with
Yeah.
4. So we do know that Jamal and Angelo have had a conversation. Hey, you need to cut my mom some slack. If you want to get in, you're going to have to get into her world. You get what I'm saying? You're going to have to relax with what you got going on and show her that you're comfortable from where she is, from her point of view.
Right.
So it's almost like you're making Cookie feel comfortable.
Right.
What do we see episode 5?
I mean, I think that he's just going to try to do these things that are, going to win her over.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, when he brought the kids to, the office, it kind of reminded me of the Biz Marquee thing, except it seemed more appropriate.
Yeah.
Even though it's
and
like-
more sincere.
Yes.
More sincere.
Yeah.
Boy, more sincere.
Not like he's trying to buy her,
Yeah.
you know?
Do you think that Lucius is going to try harder? Here's the deal. How he sets it up with Angela is just like, Doc, listen, do you know how she got the name Cookie?
Right.
Are you aware?
Right.
Because I did that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's almost like he's putting his foot down like a little dog, like, I'm peeing on my territory, this is it, go ahead back to business, fam.
Right.
You know, so it's almost like, where is Lucius going to go?
I feel like Lucius is going to play
With his
dirty.
married self.
Yes.
He's going to play dirty because he realizes that Angelo doesn't care about his threats. And
Right.
Cookie clearly doesn't care. So I feel like he's going to do some sneaky stuff. I don't know. I'm waiting for it. And I hope also that Cookie and Angelo get a little bit closer. Because I'm liking it. I want to see where that goes.
I like them too. And we can't forget, y'all, we can't keep this in the back of our minds now. Angelo's also running for, what was it, governor or like mayor? So he's running for an official, office. So it's almost like Cookie probably is about to be first lady if she keep on playing around.
Right.
So I think that's going to also move him to be a lot more sneaky. Right. Pulling out that stuff. He had the DUI and all kinds of stuff.
True.
Right.
I think Lucius is afraid to lose his power couple. Like, him and Cookie were a power couple, but now, I mean, with Angelo, they could also be a power couple, and in a more legit way, a more honest way. So I think Lucius is really getting nervous now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's even breaking down Cookie in the midst of it, too. Does he know that he would have ex-con, blah, 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 this is this?
Right.
I'm just like, oh, my God. Can we let Cookie, can we
let her move
Team
on?
Cookie, can we please let her pull away?
Let her be happy.
Lord, because you're not doing nothing but just bringing my baby
her
down.
down.
Yes.
Lord, so
The worst.
I just don't know how to feel. Are we still all the way in, though, for season 3?
I am in. I am hooked. And that first episode really set the tone. I'm like, we find out that Rhonda's dead. I think everything so far that's going on has been wild.
Yes.
So I'm tuned in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm in.
Oh, Jesus. Well, that's 2, and I'm in for 3. So hopefully you guys are also tuning in with us. We'll actually be breaking this down each and every Wednesday. Same time, same place, trying to figure out what's going on with this dynasty situation, okay? Hopefully we become honorary lions here in the process.
Yes.
I hope that you join us as well. Make sure that you engage with us here on YouTube. Of course, we didn't get a chance to do the live chat today, but we are definitely going to address your comments next week. So it's been a blast. Allie Washington, Allie the Pub across all social media platforms.
I'm Parris Rose everywhere.
And I'm Katie Foley, KT the What Now, all over.
Indeed, and this has been a Black Hollywood production of The Lions Empire. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.